To present another week of high school sports here on Cablevision Channel 40. This week we feature ice hockey between the Riverdell Golden Hawks and the Pope John Lions. Hello everyone, Rob Ryan along with Walter Bach for tonight's game between Pope John and the Riverdell Golden Hawks. The Lions coming into the game 9-9 on the year and right on the bubble of that state championship, and that's something they'll be, or rather state championship tournament. In order to get a berth, you got to be above 500, and that they're looking for that tonight against on the road against the Golden Hawks tonight. So that's something to shoot for.
And the Lions will certainly be shooting for that. They need to be 10-9, as Rob is mentioning, and they're going to look for their leading scorer, Adam Yolongo, 37 points on the season. They're going to look to ride his back into the state tournament to get to 10-9 where they need to be.
Yolongo, one of the leading scorer, the leading scorer on this team, 37 points, as you mentioned. The starting goalie tonight for the Lions is going to be number 30, BJ Tiso, and Tiso's going to have to keep his eye out for number 81 in black or in white, whichever color they decide to wear tonight. The Golden Hawks, they're going to have to keep an eye on Buzz Teodoro because he is just lighting things up.
Yeah, he is the sharpshooter for the Riverdell Golden Hawks. 40 points on the season, 22 goals, 18 assists, of course, 40 points. So he's the man that Riverdell will lean on to get the victory in this game and improve their record to 7-7, get to the 500 mark.
So Riverdell trying to get to 500. Pope John trying to get into the state tournament and advance their record to 10-9. Buzz Teodoro and Adam Yolongo go head-to-head here on Sports Video Productions. The Lions and the Golden Hawks coming up after this. Stick around, everybody. If you want to learn more about what Sports Video Productions is all about, check us out on the internet at the address on your screen, or just give Sports Video Productions a call, 265-4301 for Sports Video Productions. Tonight's game on Sports Video being brought to you by Nico's Pizza and Deli, 368 River Road in New Milford, 261-9252 for Nico's Pizza and Deli in the CVS Plaza next to New Milford High School in New Milford. Tonight's game being brought to you by the Bergenfield Garage, 91 North Prospect Ave in Bergenfield, 384-9345 for Bergenfield Garage. Tonight's game is being brought to you by Shamrock Printing and Copying, 250 South Summit Ave in Hackensack. Shamrock Printing and Copying has a new name, but it's the same great service since 1981. 488-6727 is the new number for Shamrock. This game is being brought to you by Brigetta Baked It, quality cakes and desserts. 498 Kindercomack Road in River Edge, 261-5262 for Brigetta Baked It, now making Irish soda bread fresh daily for the upcoming St. Patrick's Day. Welcome back to McKay Ice Arena in Englewood, New Jersey. Rob Ryan and Walter Bach getting set for the start of this game between the Riverdell Golden Hawks and the Pope John Lions. Rob Ryan and Walter Bach here amidst the many people who have come out to see this game. Check the starting goaltenders. First in blue, in road blue for Pope John, number 30, BJ Tiso will be between the pipes. You get a look at BJ Tiso there, getting ready for the start of tonight's game. He'll be defending the goal down to our right, and they're doing some construction, the linesman and the referee, on Steve Young's goal, but he will be in goal down to our left for the Riverdell Golden Hawks.
It looks like they're patching up a hole there, so certainly want to make sure that the puck will stay in the net if a goal is scored.
It looks from here like there's a rip right at the base of the thick meshing that's at the bottom of the net, right up against the post where it touches the ice. But you see number 30, Steve Young, in goal tonight for the Riverdell Golden Hawks. Hawks in their white home uniforms, as this is a home game for them tonight. Last time we were here at McKay Ice Arena for a Riverdell game, they were in black against Paramus Catholic, and a game not seen here on Cablevision, but a game nonetheless. In that game, Buzz Teodoro for the Riverdell Golden Hawks with 2 goals. He is the gunner for this Riverdell Golden Hawk team. He has 40 points on the year, 22 of those goals, so he is a player that BJ Tiso will have to keep in mind and keep an eye on for out there during the course of this game. 3 15-minute periods. They take a break between the second and third to resurface the ice, not between the first and second. They just move things right along.
BJ Tiso certainly will have to be on his toes tonight. Whenever Teodoro is on the ice, the sharpshooter can score from any angle inside the blue line.
Teodoro, the captain of this Riverdell team. Well, one of the captains, actually. Del Pret will start the game at center. On his wings will be Barquetto and Mike Lorbeer. Starting on defense, number 4, David Coles. And number 77, Jimmy Saliogenis.
They're just about ready to drop the puck after a slight delay there with the net.
Brian Mallon at center wins the draw, and Pope John controls, just tries to dump it in. Saliogenis giveaway in the zone, winds up on the stick of Bastide. He's crunched in the corner. There'll be a penalty early. Delayed call, whistle blows. Checking from behind the call, and right away Pope John goes on a 2-minute power play.
David Coles just rode him right into the boards, picking up the early penalty on the Golden Hawks. So Pope John with certainly a quick start here to get on the scoreboard, just 13 seconds in.
So on the penalty, it's Coles for cross-checking. 13 seconds the time of the penalty. A face-off will come deep in the Riverdell zone, and right away they will have to ward off a 2-minute power play, and that, obviously for Frank Maherter, can't be too pleasing.
I can't be happy with the early performance here of Coles. So Steve Young certainly has his work.
Coles on the play also received, Walter, also received a 10-minute misconduct on the play. That's why there are 2 players in the penalty box serving the 2 minutes. Can't get a number on him. As soon as we do, we'll let you know who it was, but Riverdell wins the draw and clears the length of the ice, killing the first 15 seconds of this power play. Pope John back with it, centered out in front, stick to side, wide by Young, and a nice play. Saliogenis follows it behind the net, picks it up, goes hard around to the far side, stopped at the blue line though, nicely by Casely. Casely has it stolen away, and up ahead to Teodoro, shorthanded. Teodoro crosses the blue line, 1 man to beat, just goes to the corner with it. Stops there, keeps control. Good penalty killing by Buzz Teodoro. Behind the net, trying to tie it up and get a face-off. What a great job, Walter, by Buzz Teodoro of killing this penalty as it's just about halfway through.
As you said, an excellent job by Teodoro taking on 4 Pope John Lions into the attacking zone, and he was able to force a face-off inside of Pope John's blue line.
Number 22, Brian Cameron, serving the minor for Riverdell, is 12 minutes and penalties right off the bat for number 4, Coles. Quick shot just skips wide past Young's outstretched left pad. Drop pass to the point, Michael Casely. 45 left to go on the power play. Good hit in the corner by Saliogenis. Another hit by Saliogenis as he tries to control the puck. Penalty killing all being done perfectly here so far. Shot in, tip just wide. Young never got to him. With it once again is Pope John to Yolango. Yolango drops it for Mallon. Mallon, shot on net. Young can't find it. It's in the crease, and it's cleared out and out of the zone through neutral ice.
Nice flurry there by the Lions to get it near the net and create some chaos in front, but the Golden Hawks able to bat it away and help out Steve Young.
Casely with the hard dump in. Defense changes. Riverdell up, not out. Kept in nicely at the point by Casely. Still kept in. Good job by Pope John to keep it in the zone. Saliogenis in the corner with it. Working along the boards. Riverdell once again able to clear. Teodoro giving chase. Casely will get there first. Teodoro hits him hard. And a hit up high once again. No call on the play. And here comes the Lions. Crossing the blue line there is Yolango. Yolango, big drive, skips wide. Back to the point. Shot on. Saliogenis nearly tipped it past Young. And it's into the near corner. Worked around to the far side. Penalty is over. 5-on-5 hockey. Teodoro, check that. D'Elia back with it. Good defense there as it stick to the near boards. Now into the near side corner. DeYoung at the point. Fires it in well wide of the goal. And in the far corner. Pope John player slips but is able to get it out.
So after the power play, Pope John is able to survive a little rally there from the Golden Hawks. And quickly they're back in the offensive zone.
Big hit on the near side, gets a rise out of the crowd. Working back with it, Pope John shoots and they score!
They bring it in. And they're able to get on the scoreboard first. Here early in the first period, 1-0 in favor of the Lions.
Derek Kirshner got it, number 15, with a nice backhand flip, worked it past Young. 1-0 on the scoreboard, 11:34 left to go in the first period. So a great job of killing off the penalty. But the pressure was just too much, and it's 1-0 in favor of the road team.
An excellent job by the Lions there. As we mentioned, they had a nice rush there with the power play. The Hawks were able to fight it off. They came back down, put pressure on the Lions. And then Pope John was able to turn the tables and get the goal.
Sarubi with it, dumps it in. Young just sticks it in the near corner. Along the half boards with it. Riverdell able to clear out of the zone. And away with it comes McKean. McKean crosses the blue line, has Teodoro with him, but Teodoro is a step off sides. And the face-off will come just outside the blue line.
So the Hawks seem to have picked it up just a little bit after giving up the early goal here. It's a little over 3 minutes in on the first period. They have to pick it up offensively, find Buzz Teodoro, get him the puck, see if he can get one in the net.
Sean Kaiser gets the goal. Correction, it was number 15, number 19, not number 15. Kaiser gets the goal. Kirshner the assist. Time of the goal is 3:26. As we're back underway off the faceoff from center ice. Stolen away, but Meyer didn't know he had it on his stick. That was Stephen Meyer. Got it with the foot, didn't realize it was there still. As Pope John right now is just flying out there. Del Pret steals it at the blue line, but couldn't control. Lorbier going to the corner, had his stick held up. No call on the play. Dump back in deep. Put it there is Casely. Casely chips it up. DeYoung able to keep it in on the far side. Now finally goes outside of the zone as Pope John had one man hanging deep. That was number 8. Michael Myers. He was dancing along the red line waiting for a long outlet pass.
He was waiting for the pass, and there was some activity against the far boards there right at the corner where the glass comes out for the players to sit. There was some checking going on, and that's what caused the offsides there for the Hawks as they dumped it in. They had a couple of players still in there.
Pope John tonight has brought an immense crowd to this game. They play their home games over at Ice House in Hackensack. They don't have a rink anywhere near them. The school from Sussex County has to travel a long way to home games, so this just like a home game for them. They have to travel just about the same distance here to Englewood to McKay Park.
Yeah, they certainly do a lot of traveling for their home and away games, and they even go far south as Toms River. So they certainly travel with no ice rinks in their area. It's a testament that they are 9-9 and able to play with such a rigorous travel.
Need tonight's win for a shot at making the tournament. Cleared down, icing is waved off on the play, so Steve Young comes out to play it around the boards. Defense picks it up there. Good forechecking by the Lions. McKean with it now has to double back around the net and try and break out. McKean hit hard and high by number 9, Stephen Meyer. D'Elia now throws his own shot, as does DeYoung, dumped in. And a cross-checking call going to be coming up, and I believe it's going to be on number 13, DeYoung. Couldn't see who controlled the puck right away, but it is a cross-check. It's going to be on number 13, Peter DeYoung. And once again, Pope John will go back on the power play. Chance to up this to a 2-goal lead.
And they had a strong flurry in their last opportunity. They just couldn't get the puck in the net. They were able to score right after the power play, but certainly they've shown that they can put a lot of pressure on. We'll see how they fare here in their second opportunity.
Puck flipped up and the length of the distance of the ice. So once again, it's DeYoung with a cross-check. 4:52 the time of the penalty. 1-0 lead for Pope John. They'll try and make it 2. That's just good, hard, aggressive play that drew that last penalty by that man number 9 who just dumped it in. Stephen Meyer centered out in front. Meyer had a chance at it, but DeYoung sticked it aside. Meyer working behind the net with Saliogenis, also has Joe Mahoney there with him. Meyer working with it, and Mahoney. Saliogenis doing a great job, but it comes away to Mahoney. Clears it up the half boards for Adam Yolongo. Yolongo, the leading scorer on this team, now back to Mahoney. Behind the net, in the corner now, working with it. Gets it back to Yolongo, and a nice glove save by Steve Young, getting it up high as That one was labeled for the top corner.
And if you're Adam Yolongo, what you have to do there is shoot it. Yolongo doing the right thing, the team's leading scorer, firing whenever he has an opportunity when he has the puck. Just a nice save by Steve Young to bail out the Golden Hawks.
Right now, Pope John out shooting the Golden Hawks by a 7-0 margin. We're about 4 minutes, almost 5 minutes into this game. Snap shot by Yolongo was wide. Mahoney picked it up behind the net, but left it there. Saliogenis gives it away to Yolongo. Yolongo with a backhand. Good pressure by the defense. They close him off and dump it the length of the ice.
So you mentioned that B.J. Tisa really has to have a solid game. He hasn't been tested yet. No shots on goal for the Hawks.
Puck just kicked across the line with it there, Mahoney. Mahoney's shot catches Saliogenis high and then is finally cleared after being sticked down by Mahoney.
Mahoney, nice job with the stick to bat that one down. They just couldn't gain control of it and keep it in the zone. We're down to 30 seconds left on the power play.
Yolongo stops at the red line, now just feeds a nice pass to Mahoney. Mahoney streaking down the middle, snap shot, kick save by Young, throws out the right pad into the corner. Centered out in front, nobody there but Golden Hawks, and they clear it down. Stopping it there was B.J. Tiso, plays the puck and tries to get in the game. And away with it come the Golden Hawks. A shot on by McKean is stopped by Tiso. As the power play is now over, but one more rush here for Pope John, but that is cut off immediately by a nice body check by D'Elia.
Tiso gets his feet wet on a nice save.
Giveaway as Teodoro almost came up with it now. Sticked away from him, back to the point. Keeping it there, Saliogenis. Dumps it into the corner. Teodoro tried to get it out in front to McKean. Whipped around the boards there. Stopping that was Tom Nolan. Nolan couldn't keep it deep, and they break out 3-on-2. Nolan trying to get back, make it a 3-on-3. Crossing the line, Meyer. Meyer with it. Shot just goes wide. Teodoro on the far board, stops. Chips it up, not out. Kept in nicely by Sarubi. Sarubi tried to throw it in deeper, was deflected into the stands. Fast-paced action so far here, Walter, but most of it coming from Pope John as they've just been buzzing everywhere.
Pope John certainly a lot to play for in this game, but they've been putting a lot of pressure on there in the power play. And we've seen it twice already after a power play. The Golden Hawks were able to come down and apply some pressure of their own, but after that, they just kind of stall and run out of gas, and Pope John comes right back and applies their own pressure.
D'Elia chasing into the corner after Farinack, who just chips it up, winds up going out of the zone, delayed offsides. And Pope John has the free clear. Moving with that was Eichler. Eichler was hit by D'Elia, but he was able to get it deep into the zone. Nolan throws it up to the half boards. Teodoro was knocked down there, but away with it comes Riverdell. Through the neutral zone, up to D'Elia. D'Elia couldn't handle it. Nice play and back checking there by number 7, Farinack. Playing neutral ice now. Pope John dumps it in. McKean comes away with it. Cross the defense partner, Nolan. Nolan chips it up to Teodoro. Teodoro hit there and just goes off for a line change. Pass thrown up back just past the boards. No icing on the play once again, as the officials say that one of the Golden Hawks could have played it. Pope John keeps the puck in. A lot of hitting going on, especially in open ice. A couple little extra jabs being thrown by each of these players. This contest has been hotly contested so far. 6:15 left to go, first period. 1-0 score, Pope John in the lead. Giveaway, back to the point for Mallon. Mallon tried to throw a wrister on, that was blocked out deep. Quick shot, Steve Young never saw it. Rebound, they just shoot it wide. As Yolongo had it on the stick off a rebound, off a shot from the point by Casely. And Riverdell recovers.
A great opportunity for the Lions. Yolongo just couldn't put it in the net.
37 points on the year, nearly made it 38, but he just tucked it wide. He had it behind Young and just couldn't get it there. Casely with it, tries to throw a backhander on net. Away with that come the Golden Hawks. They just flip it up the boards and out to neutral ice. Chipped in, no icing on the play as Nolan could not play it. DeYoung whips it back, nobody there but Yolongo. Adam Yolongo to the half boards looking. Gets it back out for Mallon. Quick shot just goes high and wide. Rebound, they score! Number 11, Joe Mahoney.
Well, Joe Mahoney that time, the beneficiary of all the hard work of the Pope John Lions. Adam Yolongo helping out there, also one of the co-captains of the squad. the Lions. Wait a minute, they're going to review this, I believe.
Two referees are getting together with the with the Pope John players. Not sure what's going on. Well, they're still congratulating each other, so I believe the goal is going to stick.
It looks like the goal will stick, although we'll have to wait for the official word. There are referees at the table. It looks like it's going to be a goal for Joe Mahoney. 2-0 Pope John. They certainly came out fired up.
Face off center ice after the goal, so Steve Young has been victimized early as icing is on the play of 2 rebound goals.
Steve Young's having some trouble here trying to stop those shots. The defense breaking down a little bit for the Golden Hawks as they scramble for it in front of the net. Pope John able to get all the rebounds and bang it home.
Mahoney from Yolongo and Casely, 9:45 the time of the goal. 2-0 on the scoreboard. Pope John in the lead. The Lions at 9-9 trying to get into that state championship tournament, the finals that will be played at the Meadowlands, the Continental Airlines Arena, later on in March. So a nice stage to play on for the kids if they can get to that final game. Long pass out ahead meant for Sarubi. Sarubi couldn't get it. It goes the length of the ice. Icing waved off on the play. Saliogenis fans on it. Centered out in front. Only Riverdell was there, though. They chip it up. Teodoro moves around one. Moves around a second. Then knocked down from behind. No call on the play. D'Elia gets it. Shoots it. That stick wide. McKean chasing it at the half boards. Gets it up to Saliogenis. Shot on goal. And a penalty coming up. And this one's going to be on Pope John. Boarding looks like the call. And I believe that they will go to the power play for the first time, will Riverdell, or maybe not.
I believe they did call the penalty on Pope John, number 15, Derek Kirchner.
Saw D'Elia going toward the penalty box, talking to the referee, but indeed it is going to be on number 15, Derek Kirchner.
So we'll see what the Golden Hawks have in them here on a power play. 4:31 to go here in the first period, down 2-0. They certainly could use a goal here.
Face-off will come just at the top of the face-off circle. Kirchner for boarding. Chance to half the lead here. McKean won the draw, but then couldn't find it. Nice keep at the blue line by DeYoung. DeYoung sticked out in front. McKean with the rebound and a shoulder save. Rebound by Teodoro goes just wide, and it's to the near corner. Racing to it is Mallon. He'll just flip it up and out of the zone as Young will place it behind the net and wait for Saliogenis. Giveaway. As Yolongo came up with it, just decided to chip it behind the net and kill more time. Pete DeYoung with it, skating out with the breakout. Blue line. Hit by Yolongo as he tried to dump it into the zone, but it was turned quickly back by Pope John.
So after the initial face-off, deep in Pope John's zone, they've been able to keep the Hawks out of there and force them to go back and chase the puck.
Barquetto crosses the blue line, just fires it in, stick to side by Tiso. Shot out of the zone, but only gets as far as center ice. Then Yolongo with it. Just dumps it into the near corner. 50 seconds left to go on the kill for Pope John. They have a 2-0 lead. Teodoro crosses the blue line. Makes a move around one, just tipped off the back of the skate of Casely on a nice defensive play. Now D'Elia behind the net, tried to get it back out in front for McKean. Nobody but blue uniforms there, and they throw it the length of the ice. 34 left to go on the kill and counting. Nolan behind the net for it. Penalty killers changed as Riverdell ices the puck, trying a long breakout pass, and one thing coaches will go crazy on, it's icing the puck when you're on the power play.
Hey, that kills all your momentum. And it's not as if the Hawks had any here. Their power play has been stalling as they just after the initial face-off, they had a little flurry there, but since then they've been unable to generate any kind of offensive threat on the goaltender BJ Tiso.
Tiso had that one test out in front of a shot that went off McKean's body. Tiso just had it in the shoulder and threw it out as there's 25 seconds left to go on Kirchner's minor for boarding. Face off deep in the zone, Pope John controls. And they'll just try and rag more time off this, keeping it deep in Riverdell's zone. They have 13 left to kill. Behind the play, player was tripped up, back to Barquetto. Barquetto with Lorbeer. Also has Delpret. Delpret into the corner with it. He is crunched hard to the boards by Mallon. Puck up behind the net as the power play is now over. Riverdell 0 for 1 on the power play.
It wasn't a very good power play either.
Just trying to ice the puck. It glances off Steve Young on one hop. Icing is waved off after it goes off the goaltender. Pope John working with it, still in the zone, keeping it deep. Saliagianis with it behind the net. With just over 2 minutes left to go in the first period. Chipped up. Lorbeer just gets it out of the zone. Barquetto roughs up a Pope John player and continues to rough up a Pope John player. Referee just looks on and says nothing. Barquetto now sticking. I believe he's harassing Yolongo. Yolongo able to get away from the checks. Hitting the open ice nicely as Saliagianis was stopped. And back the other way comes Pope John with a minute 39. Defender falls down and they're across the line. Into the corner with it goes Eichler. Eichler rounds the net. Eichler meets two Golden Hawks there, and they're able to come away with it. Lorbeer just leaves it for Delpret. Delpret just dumps it in with a minute 18 left to go. Kirshner with it. Gets it up ahead for Kaiser. Kaiser far side for Eichler. Eichler couldn't get to it. It was chipped back out in the neutral zone and then dumped back in. A lot of hitting going on, Walter.
A lot of hitting, mostly from Pope John. I've seen a couple hits. There was a big one from Sean Kaiser. Seen a couple of other hits from
Teodoro. Got away with a two-line pass, looked like, and then was canceled out immediately by good defense. Saliagianis with a good hit on the far side as Pope John just dumps and changes with 39 left to go in the period. Pressure kept on deep. DeYoung with it. Moved it up the boards, thought he had a player there, but did not. Teodoro was hanging high. Centered out in front. Saliagianis with it behind the net now. Looking. Being harassed by Kaiser. Just dumps it up the boards, and here comes Buzz Teodoro. Teodoro, 22 goals on the year, and he's been kept very quiet so far here in the first period. He had that one chance, but was checked off nicely.
Pope John doing a good job of keeping Teodoro in check, but also the entire Riverdell squad here so far tonight.
Down to the final 5 of the first period. Pope John, long outlet pass. Shot on goal is deflected out deep. Never got to Young, and that's the horn for the end of the first period. 2-0 on the scoreboard. Pope John with the lead. As some players get together and say hello at the end of the period, and a penalty is going to be given out at the 15-minute mark here. And it's going to be a high sticking call. And we'll have more details on that when the second period comes by, as we'll step aside, tell you about some sponsors when we return the second period of this hockey game here from McKay Park in Englewood. Tonight's game on Sports Video being brought to you by Paul's Emerson Hot Bagels, 185 Kindercamack Road in Emerson, 261-2947 for Paul's Emerson Hot Bagels, all natural and baked fresh daily. Tonight's game is also brought to you by Tri-State Cellular, 189 North Washington Ave in Bergenfield, 385-0300 for Tri-State Cellular, an official provider of AT&T cellular services. Tonight's game being brought to you by Brigetta Baked It, quality cakes and desserts, 489 Kindercamack Road in River Edge, 261-5262. For Brigetta Baked It, now making Irish soda bread fresh daily. Tonight's game also being brought to you by Nelson Patterson Insurance, 746 River Road in New Milford, 262-1434 for Nelson Patterson Insurance, a proud sponsor of high school athletics and sports video productions. Next week, Sports Video Productions returns here at Cablevision as we present to you high school girls basketball. Sports Video Productions will be in New Milford as the New Milford Knights host the Pagoda Bucks. Tip time right here on Cablevision is at 10 p.m. from Sports Video Productions. Welcome back to McKay Park, McKay Ice Arena. Actually, the John T. Wright Arena at McKay Park. Rob Ryan and Walter Bach here for this matchup between the Riverdell Golden Hawks and the Pope John Lions. Pope John with a 2-0 lead on the scoreboard. A 2-minute minor has been given out for high sticking at the end of the period, the 15-minute mark, to Pope John. So some encouragement here for Riverdell as they will have a power play to start the second period of play.
And they need to have a better power play than they had in the first period, where really they only had one good scoring opportunity. And after that, the Lions were able to hold them off, kind of keep them in the neutral ice area a little bit near center ice, and they kept dumping it in, and the Hawks had to keep chasing. So certainly a test now for the Riverdale Golden Hawks, down 2-0. And they'll start the second period with an excellent opportunity to get on the scoreboard with a power play.
Goaltenders flip-flop creases. 11-3 shots on goal first period of play. Pope John with the lead in that.
That's the major area where Riverdale has to improve. They have to start putting the puck on the net. That's how you start getting your opportunities on rebounds and missed shots. Create some chaos in front of the net.
The misconduct penalty is over to Riverdale. Right off the opening faceoff, Yolongo just trips Buzz Teodoro on the left wing side. Puck fired into the bench area. Faceoff will come just inside the blue line of Pope John out in front of B.J. Tiso.
Certainly where the Hawks would like the faceoff to be, inside the blue line, already in the offensive zone. Win the faceoff and some good things can happen.
Kaiser and Mahoney had the first period goals for Pope John. Teodoro has the puck in deep and just runs the defenseman there. Brian Mallon, puck up, not out. Shot by D'Elia. Good save in front by Tiso, and Tiso holds on, and a scrum in front of the net. As Coles was right there just roughing up number 5, Michael Casely, and knocked him down in front of the goal crease, trying to get position, as this game is definitely heating up, and the fans here in the stands heating up the action as well.
Yeah, certainly the game has turned very physical here, and they're going to call a penalty on Coles as he did level his opponent, and that'll even things out, 4-on-4.
So we will skate 4-on-4. And the faceoff will come outside the zone. Coles for roughing, 25 seconds into the period. D'Elia with it, chasing it in the corner as he could not control. Cleared up, Teodoro could not keep it in at the point, and it goes back out. Teodoro makes a move around one forechecker. Now crosses the red line, loses the puck. D'Elia couldn't control it, and back with it comes number 9, Stephen Meyer. Meyer throws a shot near the net, just sails wide. Puck cleared back up to the point for Mallon. Mallon dumps into the corner, but Teodoro is there. And Teodoro will try and carry out. Teodoro cutting to the near side on the forehand. Just throws a pass up ahead. Defender falls down, and with it comes D'Elia. Wines, fires just wide of the near post on the shot. Pope John with it, breaking out 2-on-2. A lot of open ice as we are 4-on-4. Yolongo with a drive, and Young just gobbles it up right there, and a penalty upcoming, as there's going to be a holding call, and I believe it's going to be on Riverdell.
So Riverdell putting themselves in a bad situation. They're going to be faced with a 4-on-3 situation. We're going to see a lot of open ice hockey now.
It's a lot of open ice, you bet, Walter. 13 minutes, 49 seconds left to go. Second period. Pope John with a 2-0 lead over the Riverdell Golden Hawks, and it's been one Congo line to the penalty box here for Riverdell. Cameron for holding, 1:11. Time of the call. Brian Cameron, number 22, forward for this Riverdell team, gets the gate. And we'll have 49 seconds of 4-on-3. And then it'll be a 5-on-3 power play for Pope John.
Referee's trying to get control of this game. It's starting to get a little out of hand there at the latter stages of the first period. A lot of hitting from both sides, a lot of players hitting the ice. Referee's trying to get a little control.
Yolongo with it, near circle, winds, fires. Young just kicks that one aside, goes back to the point for Mallon. Mallon winds and fires one that goes wide behind the net. Yolongo with it. Yolongo looking toward the middle. Yolongo just dumps it back for Faranack. Faranack shot, dribbles wide. Puck is in the far corner. Nobody knows where it is. Now Saliogenis snips it out. and just stops, makes a nice move behind the net, has some open ice to work with, dumps it to Teodoro. Teodoro just throws it out on the backhand, but not as far as center ice as Farinack gets it. Drives it back in, Young sticks it down. DeYoung will try to ice it, and does successfully.
So the Hawks doing a decent job on the being down 2 players, doing a nice job of keeping the Lions off the scoreboard. That last series there, as Pope John dumped it in, all 5 players were just standing around in the neutral zone.
5 more seconds of 5-on-3. Yolongo across the blue line. Just turns back with the top of the circle, looking to the far post. Makes a move on the backhand. Yolongo in. Yolongo fires, glove down on a nice play with a blocker by Steve Young. Saliagenis behind the net. It's 5-on-4 now. Power play for Pope John. Could not do anything with the 5-on-3 or the 4-on-3 for that matter. Puck back to the point there with it. Casely. Casely winds and fires, sticked aside by Young as he was down low to protect the bottom of the net. Behind the net now with it.
What, he threw you out of the box? Yeah.
Play now back behind the net as there's 8 seconds left to go on the kill. Yolongo with it on the far boards. Dump back to the point for Casely. Casely winds, fires through a screen, and it goes wide. Power play is over, but Pope John controls. Rebound out in front, cleared as far as the blue line, not out. Shot just tipped wide. DeYoung has it, just throws it out of the zone as it deflects off a player. Steve Young with some great goaltending to keep this one a 2-0 game, as it could be worse for Riverdell.
It certainly could be. And a lot of his saves coming off the stick from Mike Casey, who had a lot of open looks, mostly from the blue line. Certainly a deflection here or there, and that could certainly change the tide in this game.
With it now, Sarubi. Sarubi just drops it in. Young lets it go wide. No icing on the play. Eichler behind the net, gets hit hard. DeYoung with it, flips it up the board, stays on the dasher, goes not out. Shot whizzes past the glove of Steve Young into the far corner. With it there is Eichler. Eichler tried to go behind the net with it, now has it. Eichler looking out in front, couldn't find anyone, and away with it comes the Golden Hawks. Now Teodoro has a 2-on-1 with Lorbeer. Teodoro goes around the fallen defender. Teodoro can't control it on his stick behind the net. Teodoro with one hand working. Teodoro throws it out in front. And right there to cover that one up is B.J. Tiso, as the Pope John fans here in the stands like the hard work of the defense of number 4, Brian Mallon, who held up Teodoro on the play very nicely.
Mallon did an excellent job, but Riverdale has to be excited too, as Teodoro was able to use his upper body strength and maintain possession of the puck with a man on him, had enough strength to get it in front of the net to try and create a scoring opportunity for the Golden Hawks. Certainly something they haven't seen a lot of tonight so far in this hockey game.
Face-off will come to the stick side of B.J. Tiso. Big number 30 in blue in goal for this Pope John Lion team. Face-off 1 to the boards, and now cleared out. DeYoung with it, just dumps it back in catty corner. Delayed offsides, touched up by Teodoro. The face-off will come out just outside the blue line.
Some of the crowd yelling for intentional offsides, but I don't think he realized that the puck did come out of the zone, as he had his back turned to the play, touched it. They're just going to bring it right outside the blue line.
Stephen Meyer on the draw. He'll be taking it against McKean. David McKean wins the draw back, but DeYoung has to chase back to his own blue line to get it. Crosses it to Nolan. Nolan to Delia. Delia just dumps it in. Starting back with it there is Farinack. Farinack up the near boards and out. Racing for the puck now is Stephen Meyer. Meyer chases it down in the corner, tried to dump it behind the net. Another player was dumped. Kick saved by Young. And Teodoro clears out of the zone. What a kick save by Young. Is a quick turnover in the slot. Young was right on top of it and still keeps us a 2-goal deficit instead of 3 or possibly 4.
Young's certainly been proving a lot tonight.
Teodoro with it now, off the turnover. Teodoro shoots. Now back out in front. Teodoro again has another chance. Couldn't get it to his stick as he had it in his feet. Long pass out ahead. Connects with Yolongo. Yolongo. No two-line pass on the play. Yolongo tried to stuff it out in front, but it goes through the crease wide.
Yolongo with a great opportunity there for Pope John. Just couldn't get it to go. It was a nice job there by Steve Young once again.
Defense is very tired out there right now for Riverdell. Meyer with it into the corner. DeYoung Clears it up. D'Elia, cross ice to Teodoro. Teodoro now with a burst of speed across the red line, across the blue line. Cuts back, makes the move, shoots. Kick save out in front, rebound covered in the crease finally by B.J. Tiso, who is having a strong game between the pipes so far.
Exactly what Pope John needs. Tiso to really have an excellent game, and so far he has. That time Teodoro, though, on the other side for Riverdell, creating some more excitement for his team. Just he put a shot on net, forced a rebound, just nobody there to help him out there and get the puck in the net. Still 2-0, but you can't blame Teodoro. He's doing all he can right now for the Hawks.
9:02 left to go. Second period, 2-0. Pope John in the lead. Saliogiannis at the red line, just flips it into the zone. As Casely chases it down in the corner, clears it up the near boards. Kept in by Riverdell. Player out in front of the net, dumped, no call, but away with it comes number 19, Kaiser. Kaiser just sends it into the zone, but offsides is called as he fanned on the shot.
And again, Pope John applying a lot of pressure. It seems all of Riverdell's pressure comes from just an isolated play. Mostly started off by Teodoro, who would streak in, make a couple of nice moves to free himself up. But then they have nobody to follow up with the missed shot or create some excitement in front of the net. Pope John has applied a lot more steady pressure.
Tom Nolan just dumps it into the zone, but no chase going on. A lot of dump, but no chase right now for the Riverdell Golden Hawks. To the red line, driven in. Offsides on the play as Pope John player was a step in before the puck. 8:19 left to go. One thing we haven't seen in a while, and relatively in a while, for the course of this game has been taken. No penalties.
Yeah, it's been a couple of minutes since we've seen a penalty here. Started out very rough here in the second period. 3-4 quick penalties for both sides combined.
The intensity is definitely there, but the penalties are not, and that's a good thing, and that's what the coaches want to see. Lord Beer with it on the near side, just jammed it into the zone as he got hit right away. Puck then comes to Nolan. Nolan couldn't control it on the stick. Pops over the boards, and I believe the Pope John Lion mascot wound up with a souvenir.
Yeah, I think the Lion took that one right on the head as he was leading the fans with a cheer there. I think he had a piece of the puck.
Lion is here getting this crowd revved up, as this is a very Lion-orientated crowd here so far, as Walter was telling us before. They bring a lot of family to these games. 4th year of the program for Pope John.
They certainly have a lot better ice time. Much earlier starts in the evening as opposed to a couple of those 2 a.m. practices that they've had in the last couple of years.
Not easy to find ice time in Sussex County for them. Their home rink is the Ice House in Hackensack. This team, or this school rather, is in Sussex County, so you can imagine the drive they have just to practice. This is just like a home game for them.
They have to travel for home games up to Bergen County, and they have to travel for a lot of their away games up to Bergen County, so they have a long haul. That's almost near, just about an hour drive from where we are.
Icing on the play, a very, very late whistle. Not sure what the one referee was watching for. There was no doubt that that was icing. It was rifled down the length of the ice. The linesman that was, or rather, there's only 2 referees. They both act as the refs and the linesman. Not sure what he was looking at on that play, but communication on the play between the 2 linesmen not good. Finally, the whistle blew, but not before Steve Young had a little bit of a scare out in front of him.
Yeah, Steve Young scurried quickly back into the crease. He thought it would be an icing, and finally they did get the call correct, as they did rule it an icing, but as you mentioned, a little scare there for Steve Young.
Yolongo breaks out of the zone with it. Yolongo crossed the line. Offsides whistled on the play as number 11, Joe Mahoney, was in a step too late, or rather a step too soon. And the coach of Pope John says, come on, pay attention, son.
Yeah, Mahoney's timing just a little bit off there. He's getting a little ribbing there from the coach. I think the coach trying to pound it home a little bit. You got to make sure the puck gets across the line.
7 minutes, 39 seconds left to go. Second period action. Riverdell trailing Pope John by a 2-1 score. McKean wins the draw back to DeYoung, who just gets it over to Coles. Coles trying to hit Teodoro at center ice, goes past him and travels the length of the ice. No icing on the play, as Riverdell is able to keep it in. Teodoro in the corner with it. Has it taken away nicely by Meyer. Meyer Just sends it back up the near side. Yolongo with it there, feathers it ahead. Tried to hit Mahoney with it, and then the defense Coles slipped up and fell. Mahoney being ridden to the boards by D'Elia. Mahoney keeps it, centered out in front, taken there by Coles. Coles lugs it out, across the blue line, taken away by Mahoney, who gives good chase. Dumped in, offsides on the play. Both teams get back on side. As DeYoung comes out with it. DeYoung crosses the red line, just scoops it in on the backhand. Goes around the net, picking it up there is Kirshner. Kirshner flips it up, and I believe the puck went out of play.
Yes, it did go out of play. It hit the netting that's behind the goaltender. So that's ruled out of play. The action picking up just a little bit more of the end-to-end open ice action. Teams have settled down. The referees, I think, have taken control of this game. You can see a little less hitting. Teams are starting to skate a little more. I think they're getting tired, so they're reverted just to skating.
6 minutes and 42 seconds left to go as the clock winds down here in the second period of play. Pass out ahead, taken by Coles. Coles turns with it and clears it out of the zone. Coles keeps it, steps around one, 3-on-1 the other way. Coles carrying, Coles in, Coles shoots, and it goes well wide of the goal as he had Lord Beer cutting. On the far side, working with it there. As it's centered out in front and cleared just wide as the defense fell down out in front of the net, but was able to clear it, and now finally out of the zone. Play worked along the near boards, coming away with it now, 2-on-2. 3-on-2 as a player joins the play as Popejohn, turned away by Coles, who just dumps it back out to neutral ice. Thrown back in, delayed offsides, wiped off the board as they clear. Lord Beer with it, couldn't control. Popejohn player fell down deep in the zone. They'll have to clear that out. A free out for Coles. Coles has it tipped away. Coles was picked up nicely by his defense partner Tommy Nolan, though, and Nolan just punches it out of the zone. Popejohn backhands it back in, and then races back on side and then changes some lines. Del Pret dumps it in and then goes for a change. Nolan tipped away. Teodoro hit hard by Brian Mallon, as Teodoro has been a marked man tonight, and necessarily so. He's got 22 goals on the year, and they have checked him very well.
That time Mallon laid a nice shoulder block into him, and you have to check the team's leading scorer, because he's the one that can hurt you the most. If you're going to lose to the Hawks, let it be by somebody else's stick.
Teodoro had another glimpse of open ice there, but it closed up in a hurry. McKean chasing down on the forecheck, able to come away with the puck, but then it's taken back by Yolongo behind the net. Yolongo to the near boards. Long pass up ahead, connects with Meyer. Meyer tried to make a move, was checked off the play nicely by the defense. Then throws a good check to keep it into the zone. Mahoney with it behind the net. Now just throws it back for Meyer. Stephen Meyer chasing it down, has number 13, Peter DeYoung with him. Now joined by Yolongo. 4 players fighting for the puck, trying to freeze it up and get an offensive zone draw, and they do. So good job by...
The Lions applying a lot of pressure again in this game as the referees clean up a broken stick, some debris laying on the ice. Riverdell really hasn't been able to sustain any kind of offensive flow in the offensive zone of the Popejohn Lions. It's been all Lions. Once they get it in there, they're able to stay in there a little bit, move the puck around. As the faithful here cheer on their Popejohn Lions and try and get them a goal here with 4 minutes remaining in the second period.
Shots on goal in this period, 5-3 in favor of Popejohn. Nearly 6, tipped out in front by Coles, and he's able to recover as an open net was right there, but there was just no player to get it home. Shot goes wide. Behind the net, Yolongo with it. Yolongo checked off by 2 players there. Then Yolongo throws a shot back of his own. Back out in front, Popejohn fanned on the shot out in front. Now taken behind the net. Riverdell with it, looking for a clearing pass. Tried to throw it out the middle, and it was blocked down. And Popejohn's able to keep it in. Meyer working with it, had it taken away by Saliogenis, and here comes Teodoro, 1-on-3. Teodoro having trouble with the puck. Teodoro crosses the blue line, makes a move around one, but then is hit and canceled out of the play. Behind the net, McKean centered it out in front for Barquetto with a chance, and he couldn't put it home. And a penalty is going to be called out in front on number 7, Michael Farinack, as he hauled down McKean out in front of the net, trying to put that one home. Or check that was Barquetto out in front of the net, trying to get into position. And with 3:19 left to go, it'll be a power play for the Golden Hawks.
And Barquetto just missing out on a golden opportunity there to get the Hawks on the scoreboard, but all his hard work results in a power play for his squad, and desperately what they need. They've had no luck so far here on their power plays in this game. And this is where they need to get a goal with the one-man advantage, because Pope John has really been taking the offense to the Hawks. The Hawks have been scrambling in their zone for a large portion of this period.
Farinack for holding, 11:41 time of the call. Cleared up, Coles keeps it in. Coles just dumps it into the far corner. D'Elia there with it, can't control. Now McKean has it behind the net. McKean spins away from one. Now gets it back to D'Elia. Back to Coles. Coles trying to move it across to Saliogenis. Then just trying to throw it out in front instead. And it's taken away by Pope John, who clears the length of the ice. 30 seconds into the kill for Pope John. They have a 2-0 lead. Riverdell trying to have that with a power play goal here in the late moments of the second period. Turnover. Nearly turned it over, rather. In the zone. Got it out as far as center ice, and then just driven back in. And Pope John keeping the pressure on, even though they're shorthanded. Teodoro, good balance. Or trying D'Elia back to Teodoro. Winds and fires. Glove down out in front by Tiso. Back to the point, Saliogenis just dumps it in the near boards for D'Elia. Out in front. Now for Coles. Coles keeping it in nicely at the point, then is tripped up on the play, still rides the blue line, is able to keep it in deep. Saliogenis on the far side, slamming his stick down, wanting the puck, can't get it. Still kept in the corner. Big hit thrown by number 4, Brian Mallon. Shot is deflected out in front as it got out to Teodoro, didn't get good wood on it. Now controlling with it as Kaiser, can't get it out. Shot on, Tiso just stick to the side. The rebound sitting in the crease, he doesn't know where it is. It's behind the net, Teodoro with it. Backhander is off the defenseman's leg, and Tiso just dives out and covers up. And the Pope John fans here loving it as BJ Tiso and his defense doing a great job out in front of him, as there's only 19 left to kill, 1:38 left to go in the second.
And they are doing a good job, and Buzz Teodoro had a couple of nice looking shots. Just Tiso came up very big for the Lions. He used his screen to help try and get a goal there, but Tiso was in the right position to stop the puck, and they're going to call a penalty here.
It's going to be a slash. It's going to be on number 91, D'Elia.
That call coming in very late after the play, I thought.
That did come in late. Did not see that call coming up. Fans getting on the men in stripes. 4-on-4, Del Pret, Barquetto, Saliogenis, and Coles, the 4 out. 18 seconds of 4-on-4, and then the Pope John Lions will have a power play. So the parade back to the penalty box continues late here in the second period. As here comes Yolongo. Tried a long touchdown pass from Mahoney. It goes the length of the ice, icing on the play. With 2 seconds left in the 4-on-4. D'Elia for slashing, 13:22, time of that call.
That one coming in very late after the play, after we thought a nice scramble there by the Hawks. One of their best opportunities so far in this game, I thought, coming in the late stages here in the second period. And that penalty just kind of deflates you. You have to come back outside the zone.
The Pope John Lion getting the fans back into this game. 2 seconds left to go. Puck is down. Long pass was not connected. Barquetto has it. It's a 5-on-4 power play for Pope John. They have 1:33 on it. Yolongo through the middle. Just hands it off. Out in front. Pope John scores! Stephen Meyer tucks it top shelf. Power play goal, 3-0.
And an excellent job by the Lions moving the puck around in the offensive zone. Stephen Meyer breaks into the open ice, One-on-one with the goaltender. Steve Young finds the upper right-hand corner of the net. And they're out to a 3-0 lead with a minute to go here in the second period. And it's really the mountains getting higher for the Golden Hawks.
Pretty play by three particular players on that one. Mahoney, Yalongo, and Myers, the one who put it home. 3-0, a power play goal. Time of the goal coming at 13:58 of the second period. Yalongo and Mahoney on the assists as Stephen Meyer picks up the goal. Still 51 seconds left to go here in the period. Shot screaming high and wide that got the glass. Now to the far boards. Knocked down there was Mahoney. Now play goes behind the net as Riverdell just giving the puck away. Shot into the arm, and then a couple of stick whacks on the goaltender as Young had it in the armpit area. It was undetected by the Golden Hawks, though, as I'm sure that could have resulted in some rough stuff had anyone caught a couple of jabs, trying to loosen that puck out of the arm crack.
Yes, it was one of those plays where Young made the initial stop, didn't really have control, didn't know where the puck was. He had to look behind him over his shoulder to see if it was in the net or not, but did a good job of stopping that shot from going in.
36 seconds left to go in the second period of play. 3-0 lead for Pope John. Face off. The puck is just cleared out, and a penalty upcoming. It's going to be on Pope John's captain. Whistle blows, and it's going to be a tripping call to Adam Yalongo. Yalongo didn't like it, but he stuck the hip out on Adam Coles.
Yalongo certainly trying to sneak that one in, but he did it right in front of the referee and right in front of Steve Young, the goaltender of the Golden Hawks. So he certainly got caught. And the parade continues.
So with 28 seconds left to go in the period, a 2-minute minor going to be given to Yalongo. Yalongo having words with his coach. Didn't like the call, Yalongo didn't, but he did stick the hip out in the crease area as Teodoro comes onto the ice now. Face-off is going to be just inside the blue line. Coles and Nolan work the points. McKean on the draw. Tried to win it in deep, but Pope John clears it out. Nolan just dumps it into the far corner with 20 left to go in the period. Puck iced immediately by Pope John as they send it to length. And Coles will have to pick it up there with 13 to go in the period. 1:45 in the penalty, which will carry over. Forecheck being applied by Pope John. Now a 3-on-3 back the other way. Nolan carries in, gets as far as Kirshner, and Kirshner just smacks it the length of the ice as the horn for the second period sounds. Both teams will head to the locker rooms. Zamboni will come out and resurface the ice, and before all that happens, Walter, a penalty-filled but very chippy game so far.
Yeah,
got a lot of action, though.
There was a lot of blood flowing here on both sides. They came in really pumped up for the game. Pope John, I think, riding a little bit higher, 9-9, and certainly needing the win to advance into the state tournament. Riverdell needing a win to get to the 500 mark. So really, both teams really elevating their game physically, and that has given us the parade to the penalty box here for both sides. And we just saw one late there as the team's leading scorer, Pope John, Adam Yalongo, stuck out his hip and picked up a late penalty. So
carryover penalty as Riverdell will go on the power play to start the third period. Shots on goal in that period, 7-8. Riverdell had the edge overall, 18-11 in favor of Pope John. So Riverdell generating more shots, a lot to do with a couple of the power plays. Teodoro around the net. PJ Tiso has been solid when he's been tested, which hasn't been that often.
And Teodoro, the main reason they have a lot of those shots, he's been able to get the puck and break out into the open ice, make some moves to get around defenders and put some shots on the goaltender, BJ Tiso, who, like you said, has certainly made a lot of big saves here for the Pope John Lions. Just nobody's been there to help follow up on the rebounds and try and generate some more scores for Pope John.
Teodoro's had 4 shots on goal. All of them came in the second period, but he can't get one by BJ Tiso, who's putting up goose eggs through 2. We'll come back with the third period on Sports Video Productions here on Cablevision in just a second. Pope John with a 3-0 lead over the Riverdell Golden Hawks. We'll be back after this, everybody. Next week, Sports Video Productions is back here on Cablevision as we present to you another week of girls high school basketball. Sports Video Productions will be in New Milford as the New Milford Knights will host the Pagoda Bucks. Tip time, 10 p.m. right here on Cablevision, courtesy of Sports Video Productions. If you'd like more information on Sports Video Productions product and services, check us out on the internet on the address on your screen, or call us at 265-4301, Sports Video Productions. Sports Video Productions games are brought to you by Nico's Pizza and Deli, 368 River Road in New Milford, 261-9252 for Nico's Pizza and Deli. This game is also being brought to you by Bergenfield Garage, 91 North Prospect Ave in Bergenfield, 384-9345 for Bergenfield Garage. Sports Video Productions is also brought to you by Shamrock Printing and Copying, 250 South Summit Ave in Hackensack, Shamrock. New name, same great service since 1981. 488-6727 for Shamrock Printing and Copying. Sports Video Productions is also brought to you by Paul's Emerson Hot Bagels, 185 Kinderkamack Road in Emerson, 261-2947 for Paul's Emerson Hot Bagels, all natural and baked fresh daily. Sports Videos games are also brought to you by Tri-State Cellular, 189 North Washington Ave in Bergenfield, 385-0300 for Tri-State Cellular, an official provider of AT&T cellular service. Tonight's game being brought to you by Brigetta Baked It, quality cakes and desserts, 498 Kinderkamack Road in River Edge, 261-5262 for Brigetta Baked It, now making Irish soda bread fresh and daily for the upcoming St. Pat's Day. This game is being brought to you by Nelson Patterson Insurance, 746 River Road in New Milford, 262-1431 for Nelson Patterson Insurance, a proud sponsor of high school athletics and Sports Video Productions. Welcome back to McKay Ice Arena. Rob, Ryan, and Walter Bach here in Englewood, New Jersey on a frigid February night. Olympics in full swing now as the NHLers are over there, and this is a good change of pace for you. A little high school ice hockey here tonight for the second time here on Cablevision as we are underway here in the third period, a 3-0 score in favor of the Pope John Lions over the Riverdell Golden Hawks as we start the third period on the power play. For the Golden Hawks, behind the net with it now, McKean. McKean just gets it back to the point to Coles. Coles has an open shooting lane, takes it just wide as Teodoro was trying to tip it. As Tiso was able to keep that one out. Teodoro bumped hard and knocked to the ice as he has been a marked man tonight. The leading scorer for this Riverdell team. No icing on the play as the penalty is on them, or rather on Pope John. 50 seconds left to go on the kill for Pope John. They have a 3-0 lead. Puck chipped up through the neutral zone and just chipped back in. Quick shot as the stick goes flying in the air as it got broken off. Shot came from Meyer, who has a goal in this game.
And away from the play, Teodoro landing on his back on the ice once again. And certainly, you mentioned he's become a marked man, especially here in the third period on the ice twice already.
Breaking out from behind the net, McKean stumps it to the near side, gets it to Coles. Coles gets to the blue line, just dumps in hard. Tiso sticks that one aside. BJ Tiso has let nothing get behind him. Coles with a shooting lane, winds and fires. It's in the glove of BJ Tiso. He had Teodoro lurking and could not afford to let a rebound go, and he just put it in the glove.
Tiso with a nice glove save right there. Surprised he could see that puck. I had trouble seeing it from this angle. He had to see it through a screen. As you mentioned, if he let a rebound out there, Teodoro floating around. Surprised he still has the strength to stand up on his skates. He's been decked a couple of times here in this period already.
Teodoro has had a tough time finding any open sheets of ice to skate in. McKean off the faceoff. Teodoro just tipped it back to Coles, and it's taken away. Yolongo on a breakaway. Yolongo in, backhand, forehand, scores! No, he didn't. It got pushed wide. It got pushed wide, working out, shorthanded, shot out in front, just wide. As Mahoney Sticked one to the corner. I can't believe that Steve Young kept that one out of the net as Yolongo, the leading scorer for this team, had a clean breakaway. As the power play is over, sticked aside and nearly skittered past B.J. Tiso, and that would be a shame to lose the shutout on that kind of goal.
Yeah, on a shot like that, he had it, and it just kind of almost trickled right behind him, but going back the other way, Steve Young with a brilliant stop on Adam Yolongo. One-on-one, mano y mano.
He was so deep inside the net, I didn't think that he had a chance to keep that one out. He was almost in the net with Yolongo and the puck, and was able just to keep it out with the stick and steer it into the corner. And Yolongo continued the play, and out in front, Joe Mahoney had a brilliant opportunity and just pushed it wide. Cleared up to the blue line. Keeping it there was Nolan as he kept it in. Barquetto at the half boards, couldn't get a stick on it. It's cleared out back to the defensive blue line. Up as far as the red line, now chipped back in. Working with it there, DeYoung. DeYoung, center ice to Barquetto, who couldn't control. Tip back out as the play is in between the blue lines right now. Finally, the play dumped in deep as DeYoung is there for it. DeYoung on the far side had it sticked away from him by Kaiser. As Kaiser now chips it for Gorman. Gorman working on the boards, just kicks it around the net. Nolan sends it back to the far side. Barquetto turning with it as it skips up ahead now for Delpret. Delpret just hammers it into the zone, going behind the net. Cameron chasing it down there. Cameron, as it's centered out in front, quick shot by Barquetto goes wide, hops out in front. A penalty going to be coming up. That's a hold. And number 5, Michael Casely, will get the gate, 2 for holding, and that was a no-doubter as he seems puzzled by the call. I don't know why he would be puzzled. He had him all sorts of wrapped up from behind.
Well, he's certainly right there in the spotlight. Referee had a full view of it as Casely dumps his man right in front of the referee. I don't know how he can argue the point. Nonetheless, every athlete argues the point after they've been called for a foul.
So once again, onto the power play we go. Casely holding, 3:03 time of the call. 2-minute minor as Riverdell is 0 for 5 on the power play, 0 for 4. This is their 5th power play. Coles from the point, winds, fires through a screen, kick saved by Tiso. Long rebound comes out. And just throwing the length of the ice into the catching mid of Steve Young, will just drop it down for defense. Saliogiannis with it behind the net, stopping there, reversing, and breaking out.
Teodoro just hit the ice again. Big hit from Yolongo.
Coles had it tipped away from him. There with it is Meyer. Meyer just chips it up the boards for number 11, Mahoney, who just throws it into the zone. Play now on the near side as McKean comes away with it. McKean crosses the blue line, has Teodoro going to the net. McKean is just decked on the near side on a nice hit by number 4, Brian Mallon. Play up to the point, Saliogenis with it. Winding, firing, just goes wide. Behind the net, Teodoro with it. Reverses direction, had it sticked away on a nice play. And at the half board, Stephen Meyer will just throw it out of the zone. Good penalty killing so far by Pope John on this penalty kill. 52 seconds and counting left to go on it as Coles out of the zone. Crosses the red line. Coles with a backhand move across the blue line. Sticked aside on a great play by number 2, Ryan Bork.
Well, Coles right now seems to be the workhorse for the Hawks. Everybody else just kind of standing around. They have to get more involved in the offensive zone.
D'Elia, long pass, had it intercepted, and in comes Meyer. Meyer makes a move around one, but couldn't get it past Teodoro, who takes it behind the net. Buzz Teodoro, the leading scorer for Riverdell, has had his trouble today as he has been checked quite nicely by Pope John. Barquetto crosses the line, tried to center it out for McKean, just sticked aside by Tiso. Tiso left it behind the net. And it was dumped back to the point for Saliogiannis. Saliogiannis, wide side for Coles. Coles takes a rolling puck, bounces, winds, fires, and scores! A power play goal with 3 seconds left to go on the penalty. They are on the board. It's now 3-1. I don't know if Coles got it through cleanly, possibly Teodoro on a tip.
Well, it's an excellent job by the Golden Hawks on the power play, moving the puck around from behind the net, get it out to the open. Coles, he winds, he fires. We'll still have to wait for the official word to see if it went through clean or not, as you mentioned. Right now we're going to give it to David Coles, who gets the Hawks on the board, cuts it to 3-1.
Coles at the 5-minute mark. It's now 3-1 and possibly a momentum changer as Riverdell will try and get back in this one. Coles from Saliogenis, 5-minute mark, a power play goal, 3-1. As we're back to live action, play up the boards. Took a funny hop off the boards, went right to a Pope John player. The shot was out in front, now sticked aside. The rebound was not able to be had by Pope John, but they keep it in at the point. Quick shot skips off of Steve Young and into the near corner. So Pope John buzzes a little bit after they get a bounce off the boards to go in their favor. Kept in at the blue line. And now finally going to be taken out by D'Elia, but he can't get it out. Now they finally do get it out. And back to the defensive blue line comes Pope John. They just fired out of the zone, travels the length of the ice, icing on the play. And the faceoff will come down deep next to B.J. Tiso, who finally cracked.
Yeah, he did crack just a little bit on a shot from the left corner, or right up at the left end there on the blue line. Coming back the other way, Steve Young just looking a little bit lackadaisical there as he tried to make a couple of saves. Let one roll right off the stick. And later out there in the open ice, any line in the area certainly could have slapped that one right in.
Face off one to Teodoro. Throws it back in right in front of Barquetto. He can't put it home. Now cleared up the near board, stopped by Teodoro. Works it to Barquetto, back to Teodoro. Teodoro working with it, now turns around, finds some open ice. Teodoro makes a move, Teodoro shoots. Goes off a player out in front of the net. It never got to Tiso, and Pope John clears it out. Giving chase is Meyer. Meyer falls on the play, now just gloves it to himself, and is checked hard to the boards by Coles, who put a stick in the face, and the whistle blows as those two players push and shove. McKean comes in to judge things.
Looks like Coles put the stick right under the chin of Steve Meyer, who took exception to that. Creating a little ruckus there in the far corner.
Pope John fans not at all pleased with this, and the faceoff's going to come deep in the zone, and Riverdell doesn't like the call because it was the Pope John player who tucked the puck underneath his own body. Faceoff should come outside the zone, but that's not going to be the case.
Little discussion with the referees. They're going to leave it right where it is, inside the blue line.
Riverdell coaching staff does not agree with that. Pope John fans like it. They want a penalty call. Offsides on the faceoff is, I believe it was Adam Yolongo tried to get the jump into the corner and can't do that, so they'll do the faceoff once again. 3-1. McKean on the faceoff. Yolongo tried to just shoot it off the draw. It never got through to Young. It was stopped out deep. Puck up and around Teodoro now giving chase for it. Teodoro will win the race into the corner for it, but does not come away with the puck. McKean tried to pinch in. He couldn't get it up to the boards and out of the zone. Yolongo with it. Gets it up ahead for Mahoney. Mahoney hit hard, and the puck spins away to Young, and Young dives out on it and will cover for a face-off. So trying to open things up a little bit as this line with Mahoney and Yolongo trying to get some more scoring opportunities going. A lot of long passes and a lot of hard skating.
They did open it up, and a good job by Steve Young to take the initiative to go out and get that puck before either of Mahoney or Yolongo could get there and tap one in.
8:24 left to go. A 2-goal lead for Pope John, 3-1. Play up to the half boards. Barquetto there gets it. Barquetto then run off the puck, and he clears it as far as center ice, and it's dumped right back in. Saliogenis with it, turning. Tried to fire it out of the zone. Did not get it out as it was kept in nicely by Matthew Godimer. And then a late whistle on the play.
So we're seeing the Pope John Lions asserting themselves here. After giving up the goal, they've certainly been in the attacking zone here for a large portion. Riverdell hasn't had their opportunities, just a couple of dump-ins and chasing.
Offsides was called on the play, a late whistle on it. Teodoro trying to chip it past on the left wing boards, could not. It's just dumped in deep, and Coles will have to go back and get it. Working up the near boards at the center ice, clearing that back in was Kirshner. And now Coles through the red line, through the blue line, just chips it in, goes off of Kirshner and into the far corner. Cleared up and out past Barquetto, who couldn't get it. Will not travel far enough for icing. Barquetto has to chase. Throws a backhanded pass back to the defense. Now Saliogenis skating. Saliogenis past one. Could not get past the second, as defense has been great so far here for Pope John. They've really limited Riverdell getting across the line. Long outlet pass for Yolongo. Yolongo on a clean breakaway. He's in. Fakes. Backhander. Scores!
Adam Yolongo breaks out into the open ice, picks it up in the center ice area, skates in uncontested. Yolongo against Young, and Yolongo wins the battle as he puts it into the upper left-hand corner of the net to extend the lead back to 3, 4-1 in favor of Pope John.
A home run pass connected right at center ice, avoiding the two-line pass. And Yolongo was home free, and this one he did not miss. He tucked it on the backhand. It is now 4-1. Yolongo, the long pass by Faranac, 7:48 time of the goal. With 7 minutes left to go in the game, D'Elia behind the net. D'Elia keeping in the corner, just gets it back to DeYoung. DeYoung tried to throw one for a deflection, did not find Cameron out in front of the net, and here comes once again Pope John. Had another player open at center ice, decided just trying to dump it out. Penalty going to be coming up. This one is going to be on Pope John. Whistle comes, and it's going to be a roughing call. And I believe it's going to be on Casely, as Casely threw a right hook at a check that was coming his way. Can't do that, so with 6:40 left to go, once again a chance to cut this lead in half.
And the Hawks certainly have had their opportunities to get back into this game. A host of power plays have been made available for them. They just haven't been able to convert, find themselves down 4-1. Certainly need a goal here to cut it in half. Time is running out, 6:40 to go in the third period.
Casely for roughing, 8:20 time of the call, 2-minute minor. So back to the power play goes Riverdell. 1 for 5 on the power play, as their last goal was on the power play. Teodoro steals it at the blue line, then tried to feather a pass for D'Elia, and he could not find him. Cleared the length of the ice. Steve Young stops it behind the net. Coles comes with it. Coles skating with it. Coles cut off, then just dumps it into the zone. Teodoro giving chase behind the net. D'Elia there. That just is up for Mahoney, and Mahoney drives it to the point, not out. Shot was stick to the corner. McKean there chasing, able to knock it away from Yolongo, but Yolongo able to take that back. Yolongo will just drive it the length of the ice, nearly gets past Steve Young.
Steve Young expected that shot to come on the net.
Big hit on the near side. It's going to be a penalty. And the Pope John fans do not like this at all. Player is down and injured.
Well, a vicious hit laid out by Brian Mallon. As Coles, I believe, takes his time getting up. Yes, it is Coles, number 4. David Coles.
Mallon gets the penalty. Not sure what the call was.
I didn't see the official signal.
I would have to assume it's either going to be a board or a charge.
Something along that variety. And Coles is still down on the... Actually, Coles is up now, so maybe it wasn't Coles. There's somebody else down on the ice outside of our view right now. The trainer is tending to him.
1:01 of 2-man advantage coming up for Riverdell. A golden opportunity here. Late in the third period, it's a 4-1 game. Kenai is 9:19 of the third period. Coles, Saliogenis fires. That shot goes wide. McKean gives chase into the corner. 5-on-3 for another 55 seconds. McKean keeping it, gets it back to Coles. Coles couldn't control it at the point, and Saliogenis has to come back to his own blue line. Coles with it now. Coles winds and fires it in. Sticked aside by Tiso into the corner. There with it is Meyer. Meyer gets it over to Teodoro, who's back on the ice and fine. Out in front, player being worked over. Going to be another penalty. Salyagenis shoots just wide, and the touch-up on the play. And this is going to be another penalty. Cross-checking out in front as Barquetto was getting hammered in front of the net, and that call is patently obvious. That has to be a penalty. Cross-checks to the back of the head, no doubt about it. If you have the cross-check and you're working someone over out in front of the net to keep it on the shoulders, in the small of the back, generally refs will let that go. You get it up in the back of the head in the neck area. That has got to be a penalty. And indeed, he is sent off. That's Yolongo, 2 for cross-checking.
So Pope John starting to assert their size and using some force here, but they're getting caught by the referee. And Riverdell certainly has themselves a great opportunity to get back in this game, although time is running down. They can cut it in half.
Coles fires it in wide of the goal. The way this works, the penalty to Yolongo will not start. The 2 minutes will not start until the 12 seconds is up on the other minor. Teodoro out in front, tried to get a rebound shot, but he got it wide. D'Elia back to the point to Coles. Kept in at the blue line. Coles crosses it over to McKean. McKean back to Coles. Coles winds, fires, glove down in front by Tiso. Puck out in front, whistle blows, and I believe this is going to be too many men on the ice possibly. This has still got to be a 5-on-3. The 2 minutes doesn't start for Yolongo until the penalty is over.
That's right. One of the Lions bolted out of the penalty box. I think that's what the call is going to be.
And that's correct, and it's got to be another 2-minute minor for too many men on the ice, Walter. And that 2 minutes won't start for another 54 seconds. That's the way this works.
And they're all pointing up at the clock.
The players have to know that, though. The players in the penalty box have to know that when their time is up, they have to know the rule.
That time they just were not paying attention to the situation of the game. And the coaches yelling at players across the scorer's table. It's gotten a little out of hand here tonight. He's got his work cut out for him.
Puck moved back up to D'Elia. He lets it go to Salyagenis, back to Coles. Coles just tried to send it through into the middle, and a nice play there as number 11, Mahoney, comes away with it. Mahoney works across the line. Mahoney hit from behind, shoots, and he scores! Mahoney with a shorthanded goal on a 5-on-3. It's 5-1.
And a poor job by the Golden Hawks giving up a 5-on-3 goal. Brian Mahoney just steps in, fights off 3 Golden Hawks, is knocked off the puck, keeps battling, turns around, finds the puck in front of him, whirls and shoots, and scores. 5-1 now. And this game certainly desperation mode now for the Golden Hawks.
The fans chanting Joey. Mahoney with the goal, a shorthanded one. On a 5-on-3, they're 2 men down. They will be so for the next minute 18. Mahoney unassisted, 10:52, a shorthanded goal. Now D'Elia just winds and fires it in deep. Giving chase Teodoro, worked up the boards. Coles is there. Coles loses control of it, and it comes away for Casely, and Casely will just dump it the length of the ice. 54 left to go on the 5-on-3. A minute 50 left to go in the 2-man.
So it seems a lot of the oomph the Hawks had, that 2-man advantage, has kind of disappeared after giving up that shorthanded goal.
Coles on the far side point with it. Swines fires, just gotten with a blocker pad by B.J. Tiso, who has been solid as a rock between the pipes.
Solid is a good word for Tiso. He's been the man between the pipes, especially here in the third period, the latter stages, putting on a show between the pipes, keeping the Lions very nicely in front here with the 5-1 lead now. 3
minutes and 14 seconds left to go. The 2-minute bench minor for too many on the ice has not started yet, so that's 2 minutes still on the board. 2-man power play still for Riverdell. They still have an opportunity to get in this game if they can just get one by. Barquetto with a shot from the point. Teodoro trying for the deflection, couldn't do it. Now wrapped back around the boards, McKean. Top for Nolan. Nolan just fires a wrister, goes off the crossbar and in to the meshing.
Now the Golden Hawks shooting at will, certainly having their opportunities. And Nolan cranks one off the crossbar.
I've been giving you the wrong time on the 5-on-3. The 5-on-3 will be over Not for another minute and 1 second. 13 seconds left to go on the original penalty. A minute 10 left to go on the second penalty, and that's going to cross it out as a cross-check under the throat by Nolan. Innocent enough as he just brought the stick up, and Nolan just heads right to the penalty box as he knew it. Face-off is one back to DeYoung, but it's past him and out to the neutral ice. At the red line, Saliogenis. Back to DeYoung. Dansky on the near side, waiting for a pass. Doesn't get it, and they score! From outside the blue line, it's fired in by number 13, Pete DeYoung. And with 53 seconds left, it's 5-2.
And Pete DeYoung getting a well-deserved goal here for the Riverdell Golden Hawks, as they've been abused the entire game. But Pete DeYoung doing an excellent job. Just keep firing on the net. And they got on the scoreboard 5-2.
Whistler skate 4 aside. DeYoung unassisted, 14:07, a power play goal as we will skate 4 aside now. Puck dumped in deep. DeYoung just gloves that down at the blue line, then is met. And now they're roughing it up on the near side. No whistle as the play comes out to Barchetto. Barchetto goes around one, has Del Pret with him. Barchetto in. Barchetto shoots. And the net was knocked off the moorings, but Tissot is able to hold on as he had it in the glove with 32 seconds left to go. And I tell you, probably the one group of people who's going to be happiest that this game is over are going to be the two officials.
Yeah, the officials really have their work cut out. They've called a very clean game, although some of the fans here would like to disagree. I haven't had a call yet that I've disagreed with the referees that I've seen here tonight. The referees certainly doing a good job keeping the game in check to the best of their ability.
44 minutes in penalties total, 22 even for each team. Seconds left to go in the contest. 5-2 Pope John in the lead as the hitting has no end in sight. Saliogenis from way out, gloved down by Tissot. Just sends it into the corner with 3 seconds left to go on the clock as Barchetto goes hard into the boards. Yalongo just dumps it the length of the ice. And this contest is all over. Pope John wins by a final of 5-2 as they are storming out on the ice, knowing very well that with 10 wins, they may have actually just sealed a trip to the state playoffs.
And the state playoffs is where they should be heading. And they won this game using very physical force, knocking around the Riverdell Golden Hawks, who I think really were not ready for this kind of a game as they came to the arena tonight. Pope John really took it to them physically, and I think Riverdell wasn't up to the task tonight.
The teams will line up and shake hands. And we'll step aside. 5-2 the final score. Pope John wins. They advance their record to 10-9 on the season.